Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder, to our first impressions on the M1A1 Abrams. And this is now the fourth Abrams version in the game, if you count the premium version. And this is now a little bit different because it has a 120mm gun. So I have some gameplay for you. Sadly, no Ace gameplay survivor because, yeah, I'm a little bit in a hurry today, and it was just not possible with the top tier meta. So sorry about this. However, don't confuse this with me liking top tier meta, but I still talked about the problems that haven't been resolved in quite some time. Not just only with the 14,000 Silverline repair cost, the tank having now a massive stock grind, etc. But yeah, there we have it. Stock heat FS round. 650mm versus era and composite armor that can withstand it, and then only as a tier 3 upgrade the M829. Combine this with parts and FPE now being back at the old price. Yeah, no, that's a nasty stock grind. Top tier never was a place for free-to-play players anyway, which, think about it what you want, but this is how it is. It's not my design choice. Then also the tank has a 6-second reload for its main gun with an A screw. However, this is compensated by the greater penetration power of the APFSDS, but it's still the same. You still are either camping or rushing and dying. You are shooting with APFSDS the gun breach of enemy main battle tanks, and then try to cap and kill as much as possible before you die and have to pay 14,000 Silverline repair cost within small teams on small city maps. Skill is less relevant than luck and RNG, and that is just a bitter feeling, and that just overshadows anything about this tank. So this is now the rant, it's over, let's talk about the tank. I'm not quite sure if this tank should get a higher battle rating. Its armor and survivability are not that great compared to the experience in the predecessors in previous patches. Especially here, this ammo rack here is a ready rack and gets constantly refilled. And that means this blowout panel still works, but half the shells get taken out, and still you have here those 6 rounds. So if you, by misplay, angle a little bit, you hit this, tank explodes. Yeah, and that's all that you need to know. So without further ado, let's go into some gameplay and let's see if this tank is worth the 390,000 RP and the million Silverlines to buy it, another Silverline to get the expert qualification, and then probably 300,000 Silverlines to get into a crew in the first place. I hope you enjoy. So the first battle scene is here on the European province map, and we are rushing B. Yeah, because this is how you play War Thunder. The speed of this tank in a straight line, if you give it time, is excellent. There is nothing wrong with it. But the second you hit some obstacles in the way, avoiding the bomb craters, having to drive through the fences, it slows you down significantly. And then the tank just needs a few seconds to then beginning acceleration in the first place. And while we tried our best to just rush in B as fast as possible, we were not as fast as the enemies. And I suspect here a TA-TU, they are also really fast. I'm waiting here for my buddy to also show up, and so we want to get this tank in a pincer maneuver. while he smokes up. Now this is very risky gameplay. I push into the smoke and I try to get him. I bump into him and very unlucky to not kill him outright here, but we can easily out traverse him. And this is where you feel the 6-second reload compared to the predecessor's 5-second reload. But APFSDS through the middle of the tank of a Russian main battle tank secures the kill. Now we cap here together to share our prize for our teamwork. And when teamwork happens, that's always nice, especially at top tier with this disabling meta. You know, APFSDS plus gun breach, profit. Yeah, this is how it is. And I push forwards again. This is what I want to do. I want to now go up the hill to the right. But I heard some machine guns. And there are some dirt is kicked up. So I want to hide behind this house. And I want to just check the surrounding. Look around me. And use my ears. So please notice that I preemptively drop here an artillery strike on a position where I suspect an enemy main battle tank. Ping the map, because I'm quite sure that he must be there. The machine gun rounds were all that it took for him to get my attention. And yep, there it is, Leopard 2A4. There is no way that I can shoot him. His gun is pointing this way. And now more communication. Again, I ping here the edge of the house and also write it in chat in just a moment, Leopard 2A4. And I hope that my buddy now gets the kill. Whereas he has gifted me the chance previously on the T80. I want to give him the chance to get this Leo 2A4. With a shot through the rear of the tank, this should be an easy one-shot. But even if he would whiff the shot, I would be there to support him. He turns the turret. And just before I want to pull the trigger, my gun breach gets knocked out. Oh my god. This is so frustrating. This is pure frustration. I hate this so much that the second I want to pull the trigger, my gun breach gets knocked out. In every single battle, this is what happens to me. If I not get one shot from somebody that camped somewhere because I was moving. And this is what I so hate about top tier. That despite your best efforts and tactical approaches, you just get punished for this. Enemies are camping, enemies are waiting, and then you gun breach, and then those long repair times that are long outdone by the meta. But at least he got both kills on the Leopard 2A4 and also the T80B. But now another T80B killed him, and I now see cover behind the other side of this house. And again, I hear the Russian engines. I'm not quite sure if they are aware of me, but I have now to just prepare an ambush. Now you cannot probably hear it as clear as I did in the battle because I reduced the volume for the gameplay footage greatly. Easy one shot. Okay, is that the only tank that tries to rush B now? I'm not quite sure. I think I heard a second one. What to do. This is a weird position that I'm in. Behind enemy lines, if you will. Nothing coming that way. I'm quite sure that I heard another tank. And I'm now the only tank on the southern side of the river. So sometimes we have those huge but empty maps. And then we also have those small city maps. There is just no intermediate where the engagement ranges would be good. Now B gets decaptured. And I'm coming from their backside. So they don't probably expect me. And I prepare here, and sometimes you're also lucky. That was a gifted kill. Okay, can we make one more? Can we surprise the tank that is now in the middle of B? And in fact, yes, we can. So, gunner and track, I want to reverse here on the other side. But then, yeah, I overlooked this tank. And again, my gunner is this time knocked out. Can I do something about it? No. And now this tank kills me with a heat shell igniting my ammunition. The next scene just shows the great magnification that the tank has, as well as the long-range capabilities and the power of the APFSDS under the special circumstances. So here I greatly misfire on this moving Leopard 2A5, I guess. Okay, let's quickly range find here this part, and he moved, and now I misfired again. But, you know, this is just one of the first battles. And, yep, we won the engagement. Gun breach is taken out. Question is, will he smoke up? But it doesn't really matter. Loader, engine, fuel tanks. Let's shoot the other side of the tank through the hull. And, yep, we got ourselves a Leopard 2A5. And immediately an ATGM comes our way from somewhere where I have no idea. I survived this engagement up until this point, where then, yep, I see this tank, I don't outright kill him. And then a TATU just sees me and watch that shot. True knockout, okay. I was slightly angled, that was one of those typical high tier shots. And I'm sorry, what? How did I die here? Now let's summarize this patch for this tank in a scene that is not very long. So I am the most forward one of my team, and still this tank then just refuses to accelerate, which is so infuriating, and you bleed so much speed. In a straight line, this tank would be awesome. But now we are on Alaska, the 4th time, and I have my will to live at top tier is just, yeah, there are 4 Leopards, and wow, wow, so much fun. Really, so much fun. So this is now the last final battle that I want to show you, and yes, this is a replay. The markers are on, so you have a little bit of an idea what's going on. And now I will try to drop here an artillery strike on the entrance path of the enemy tanks to spot them, maybe get a random lucky hit, but it's mostly about spotting them to get a rough idea where and how many enemy tanks that there are. My plan is here to go around and not directly to A, because with so many tanks of our team going directly for A, I expect a traffic jam. And that is not what I want to do. So you also see a little bit of an alternation between bird's eye view and also my original view. With 2 or pressing, in my case, Ö, you have directly the view that I had in the battle. And there we can see the carnage. My team gets flanked from the side by 2 tanks. 2 tanks are also on the other side, and this is where the slaughter begins. First tank goes down, and many will follow soon afterwards. I could go here directly into the cap now from where I am. You can see me here in the very bottom of the screen, but I have chosen to go the long way around just to be sure, because of the simple fact that it is always more beneficial to see the side and the rear of a tank and make the best of your chances. Give yourself the highest chances. And I heard the tank to my right, and I also see the tracks or the track traces on the ground. And I was a little bit confused because at the very moment I pulled the trigger, I got a kill assist. That was from the artillery strike, and I was not quite sure if this guy was actually dead. And you always feel that 1 extra second in terms of reload. So the huge advantage that the predecessor Abrams have with their 5-second reload, you are now on par with the Leopard 2A4. Speaking of Leopard 2A4, he was distracted, and that's another easy kill. But the question is, do you really need an Abrams with a 120mm gun to get those kills? I don't think so. So it's more about tactically approaching a capture zone, using your teammates as a distraction, going the far way around, and then profit from it. This is the most successful gameplay, and when I now prepared this ambush, I briefly also saw and heard the other tank, and in this case it is a T-64A if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, with those side skirts. And I'm just waiting, and then very, very, very easily we get here the side shot. I obviously maneuvered here at the wrong second, and this 1 second of delay, well, here the T-55AM rammed the building, slowed down, highly annoying, and I obviously have now the ambush shot on him. That was a little bit of a lucky situation, although I didn't think that he was aware of me. Despite his ESS efforts, I one-shot them, or I two-shot him then through the rear. Now let's talk about the M1A1 after our 4 kills. I don't really think that per se the 120mm is a straight upgrade over the 105mm. I'm talking here about the longer rate of fire. I'm talking here about also the fact that you have a massive stock grind, although if you throw golden eagles at the game like crazy, then you barely will notice. It is in that Alpha Strike capability with the better pen, obviously an improvement, but it's not like this tank is crazy. And obviously the enemy teams have also upgunned their tanks. They also have stronger APFSDS, which neglects the advantage of your armor. You now have a bottom ammo rack that is not that you can't empty, so you get one shot more and more compared to your previous experience. So it is kind of a side grade. Yes, the shell and the gun is stronger, better magnification, but you have to pay quite a nasty price with a longer reload, and that 1 second at top tier is all that it needs. And I absolutely had no idea where this tank was. So that's it with this tank for me today. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the battlefields of War Thunder.